Good morning guys, we've spent the last week or so just relaxing and recovering after Vanlife in Point Brown in Smoky Bay. It had been pretty amazing. We're just swimming in the rock pools, relaxing. But now we've headed further inland and away from the coast to head somewhere that is really cool. Probably one of Australia's coolest campsites. So we spent last night in Minapa at the Concrete Crapper, which was a pretty good night apart from one mishap.
So we both had a little shower because we just filled up on water, and we cleaned the van. We did like a complete reset, a bit of grocery shopping, and yeah, I was like, oh Lydia, I'll sort dinner out. Had a look at what we could make, and I was like, well, you know, I'm kind of lazy, so I'm gonna make pancakes. Even before I made the pancakes, I was like, Lydia, feel how hot this container is, because it was a really hot day yesterday. Like, I think the weather said it was 41 degrees, which that was by the coast, so I can't imagine what it is inland, and also in a van. And I went to shake the pancake mix, and it exploded. Like, it just went everywhere, and like, I didn't shake it that aggressively. Normally I shake it pretty aggressively, and it went like all over my face, it went all over the van, like all over our bed, our laptops, literally everywhere. Like, it literally exploded. It's not like just the top popped off, it exploded. Like, it was horrible. Like, the most traumatic thing ever to happen in the van so far.
So our bed sheets are kind of ruined, so we slept on the bed without proper covers last night. And we just keep finding new spots of batter. Look at that.
I think it's going to be cheaper and easier just to buy new bedding, because the pancake batter is nearly impossible to clean. Like, it just hardened immediately. It is wild how many gravel roads there are. And it's like not smooth roads whatsoever. Like, we haven't had this issue ever while traveling so far. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, gravel road here, gravel road there.
It's because we're still remote.
Look at this. We nearly had a casualty. I had to stop.
That's our own fault for not sealing it. We were gonna secure the coffee machine. We were gonna put like anti-slip mats underneath it, but we haven't had a chance to find a shop that has them yet. So we're just kind of hoping for the best, and we've been fine. But another gravel road. But we are remote, so I keep telling Vian, maybe when we get closer to the city, it's not going to be as many unsealed roads. But for now, it's a bit of a struggle.
To be honest, I'm a little tired of gravel roads.
A little.
A lot.
Okay. Whoa! We are here at Pildappa Rock, which is amazing for so many different reasons, which we're gonna go through today. Firstly, this is known as an Inselberg. Hope I'm saying that right, but that just means a mountain or a hill or like a granite rock outcrop like this is, that came up out of a plain, which is flat land surrounding it. Another really cool thing about this place is that from above, from a drone shot, it looks like a goanna lying down.
I'm not convinced. I think from one end it looks like a cat, like the rear end of a cat, and the other end, I'm not sure, but I don't think it's a goanna.
I think it's so cute. It looks like a little goanna from the front. I think it's cute.
Another really cool thing about this rock is that it's actually a campsite. So there's certain areas that you're not allowed to camp in, as well as being less than 30 meters away from the rock. If you're more than that and you're not in those certain areas, you're allowed to camp here by donation. And they have a donations box right here.
Seems the visitor book is no longer there. Oh well.
So we've decided to pull up to a little site that is away from all of the access points, just so we can wait until it cools down a little bit and is less sunny. So we can go and explore all the cool areas and actually enjoy it rather than being in the miserably hot heat. And yeah, we can show you guys all the cool things a little later.
We started going to climb the rock and show you all the cool features of it, and it was so hot. And I don't know why. It's the one day I wore double black. Like, I've got a black shirt and black leggings, so it made me like extra hot. And I was like, yeah, maybe let's go find a camping spot and then we'll go do all the cool stuff later.
And like, if it was just hot, and you saw before it was windy. If it was just hot and windy, I feel like we would have been fine. But it's literally like there's like a hairdryer blowing on you. The wind is so hot. It is wild. Because we are literally in the middle of nowhere. This is outback South Australia.
Alright, we've finally left the van. It is many hours.
And so much better. If you can't tell from my mood. I was a little low energy before, but that was because it was blazing hot.
It was so hot today. Vian checked the van and it was, what did it say the heat was? 43?
So the van said 42.5, but the exhaust fan on the van also said that it was like 44 degrees Celsius. Which it wasn't meant to be that hot today. It was meant to be hot yesterday, Lydia.
Yesterday it said it was 41 and today was like 40. And I was like, okay, well, it's not as bad as yesterday. Like, it'll be okay. But
it was horrible.
So hot. Like, it took it out of us for sure. But hey, it's close to sunset.
Which, you know, is actually nice. I think it's nicer than going at the time that we went because it's a lot more moodier. Yeah. And you can tell it's now overcast.
It was so sunny before, like everything was like blown out when we were trying to film things. So much better time.
But not just that, in real life as well. Everything was blown out. I can look at Lydia because I was squinting all the time. Now you might be thinking, didn't you guys just cross the border from WA to South Australia? Isn't that Wave Rock? No, this is not Wave Rock. This is
Pildappa Rock.
Pildappa Rock, right next to Concrete Crapper.
The wave shape of the rock was formed because moist soil that was up against the rock would weather the rock and break it down. So then when the soil levels would drop over time, that weathering of the rock would be removed. So that's why it's built into this wave shape. It's all because of soil. Now,
I do have to say, it's not as red as Wave Rock, or what I've seen. And I'm not sure what this little thingy is. I think it's like the light shed, like the tree in the rock.
But I forgot what it's called. So I also just spotted the gutter system at the bottom. So European settlers built this so that they could catch all of the rainflow that came off the rock, and it would lead to an underground tank that supplied all the water.
That's so cool. Now, I cannot resist the urge to do the cringy, typical thing that you do when you get to a rock that is shaped like a wave, and that is to surf. So all I'm gonna say is, Kalabunga, dude.
I was about to say Cowabunga,
dude. No way! No way!
Yeah. It suits you, the surfer boy look, man. Another cool thing about Pildappa Rock, besides that it's a campsite, besides that it's super old and unique and wild, and besides that it has like its own wave rock, and besides everything we've mentioned already.
And besides that it apparently looks like a goanna.
But I don't think so. That's my favorite part. So you can also climb it. So we're gonna go up to the top right now and go see what it looks like at the top.
Lydia, I don't know why, but all of a sudden I've got the urge to do a little bit of a...
You have to move with the rock.
Oh, making my way up the rock. I've got
yeah, shush.
And this isn't wave rock.
Oh my gosh. Got the moves with the rock.
Got the moves with the rock.
Got the moves with the rock.
My hands are full.
Making our way up the rock.
It's kind of like a good auditorium. If you stand right here, I really feel like I should sing some like opera music or something, because it's just amplifying everything.
So
it's
come
so
hold
wild.
a concert on Pildappa Rock.
Yeah, I'll bust down some Pavarotti. South Australia is quite well known for their rock pools. Hey, Lydia?
I'm not swimming in that.
I'm not swimming in that either. It doesn't look very fresh.
Another really cool thing about Pildappa Rock is that it has these, which are called Nama holes. With a G, Nama holes. So, Vian's looking at me so confused right now. I feel like I'm on like National Geographic.
What does that mean? Like water?
Okay, so I don't know what it stands for, but it's it's a
Lydia.
Nama hole. Listen, these are Nama holes. It has multiple Nama holes all over Pildappa Rock, and what happens is when it rains, these would all fill up with fresh water. So this was actually crucial for Aboriginals who were living in the area as their main water supply, because everything else around here is so dry and arid and there's just no water anywhere. So this was a main source of water for Aboriginals. I believe it was the Tcharkuldu tribe. I will add in text if that is wrong, and I hope I pronounced it right. But it was used as a main source of water for them. And then eventually European settlers as well came and started using this water in the area, hence the gutters and catching all the rainwater.
Now, I like something that is functional and also beautiful. It's really cool.
It is. I know that people are probably like, hey, it's a rock, but it has so many cool different things about it. It's amazing.
I know Lydia mentioned before about this rock being, I don't know what it's called, but like literally a rock with flat land around it. And I cannot emphasize that enough. It's very flat, except for some ranges off in the distance. But it's really flat and very, very dry. So I can imagine why European settlers and Aboriginals use it for water source.
I got so excited researching this. So the ranges that are all the way off in the background are caused by volcanic eruptions, reactions, and they'll just, look at all these flies, and they'll go, and then the range was formed. But this was totally different. So this was a rock that was actually underground.
Whoa!
It was like, I don't know how many kilometers. I'll add it in there, but it was all these kilometers underground. So
it's still underground?
And it eventually came out.
Oh.
Like it was underground. And
so it's like a pimple.
Oh. Yeah. Nasty.
That is why Lydia likes this rock, because it's like a pimple and she likes popping pimples. No, she's just enthusiastic about it because it looks like a goanna, apparently.
Yeah. So before, when I saw that one water hole, Nama hole, I was like, oh, okay, there's some water there. But now as we've continued walking on, I get it. They must get so much water from this because the whole thing is covered in these massive holes. After rain, it must be covered. It's insane.
And like, we are literally at the end of summer. Well, midway through to the end of summer. So that is why they are dried out. Like, no wonder. Like, today was probably 44, 45.
Yeah.
Yesterday it was probably 44 or 45. Like, it's actually wild. Like, this would be such a practical use of a rock. And also, like, it's pretty easy to spot if you're off in the distance. Like, listen, I don't even know if if they lived here or, like, whatever. But, like, if they were a couple hundred meters away or a kilometer away, it would be pretty easy to locate it.
Yeah, exactly.
So
you'd be like, all right, it's just that far until we get water.
It's pretty cool.
It is. These are huge.
I found more water.
What? Look at this one before we go to Vian. Massive.
Really cool. Like rainy season.
Right? Because look at all these like little channels. There's a name for these that I'll add in.
I wonder if you're allowed to swim in it.
Ew.
It'd be so fun. Like, don't you think? Like if there's water flow, all the water will be fresh and like cool and whatever.
True.
This is stagnant water, so of course it's gonna be nasty and full of bacteria. But like if the water was actually flowing, this would be so cool to like swim in.
Reality of traveling in Australia on a hot day, covered in flies.
It's vile.
They're so gross.
I do have to say, while Lydia appreciates this rock for looking like a goanna, I really appreciate it because it didn't take that much effort to get to the summit of it. Like after doing 4 hikes in 2 days, and Bluff Knoll, and Nancy's and Devil's Peak, and
East Mount Barron,
like all the mountains, all the hikes, it's actually quite nice just to come somewhere and literally within 10 seconds being at the top.
And it being beautiful.
Don't help me like that. I only have 2 hands. Like, what?
Yeah,
That's what, like, being the skinny legend is for. Like, just being able to tuck things into your pants, you know? Can you guess what I am?
I don't know.
I go in.
Look, it's glowing.
Okay. I take it back. This whole section of the rock does indeed look like a little reptile or a little lizard or something.
Look how beautiful.
It's so beautiful. I wish it wasn't as cloudy, because it would be golden hour right now. But even with it being cloudy, the sun rays coming through, projecting onto the rock, it's
beautiful.
beautiful.
Good morning, guys. We have woken up for sunrise.
Yay.
But we're not having much luck because the clouds are completely covering the sun. It's still pretty, it's just more moody and dark.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had a really good night's sleep.
Mm-hmm.
And just grateful that these places exist and that we can come enjoy them.
Definitely.
Alright, before we left, we went to check out Tcharkuldu Rock. Hope I pronounced that right. Probably not. And the first spot we're at is the Tcharkuldu hut, which was built for all the workmen who were working on the dam that's nearby. It's very cute looking from the outside. It's cute!
Yeah, it also looks like the roof is not original.
Yeah, they've definitely refurbished that. Fireplace.
Wouldn't need that if it was as hot as it was yesterday.
True. Look at all the boulders.
These European people with all these damn water gutters.
I know.
Jeez Louise.
More gutters, just like Pildappa. Clearly collecting the water off this also.
See, that's
I told Wehan to stand in the rock, but he won't because there's a spider. Ew.
Look at the size of that.
Ew, you're gonna have to get a close up of that.
I don't want to.
Oh.
So this is another cool spot with lots of rocks on it.
Boulders everywhere.
It is. It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
And it's also it's also a campsite. So
yeah, another really cool spot to camp if you're in the area.
Exactly. So definitely worth checking out if you're in the area.
I guess that's it for us in Minapa.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for watching, guys, and see you in the next one. van life is always seen as so dreamy, but it is not all beautiful beaches and amazing spots all the time. Today we're going to show you the reality of van life. So Jan's very politely saying that sometimes we have to stay at rest stops because there's not beautiful campsites everywhere.
Yep.
Sometimes we have to. We're right at the side of the road with road noise, and majority of the time people are shitting in the bush.